Hey, welcome to VBAtutorialcode.com. In this video lesson, I'll show you how to use the macro recorder. If you're unsure of how to set up coding in Excel, go to my lesson 1 and watch it on my YouTube. So in Excel, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Developer tab, select Record Macro, and we're just going to name it like Macro 1 and press OK. So it says stop recording up here. Right now we're recording a macro, so anything I do on this Excel sheet will be recorded. So I do B2, I select B4, I select B6, stop recording macros, edit. So right here it has range B select. So that's how you could select range B6 in like the macro. So right now if I step through this, press F8, it'll select range B6 once you pass that line of code. So if you need to remember or learn how to do anything or translate anything that you normally manually do in Excel to VBA code, you could click record macro up here. And then let's say you wanted to like filter by anything that's greater than 0. It'll filter anything that's greater than 0 here. And then you go to stop recording, go to macros and macro 8. So right here it filters A1 to B25. It filters the second column, anything that's greater than 0. So it's translated to VBA code just by you doing it manually with the macro recorder. So I'm just going to delete the subprocedure macro 1 and macro 8, which we just made, which is stored in module 1. And I don't want to save it. So I'm just going to go to back to my workbook and go to developer, record macro. So say you wanted to like, I guess, format the numbers. You can click up here and then go to developer, stop recording macros, go to macro 9. So here's how you get it with like the selection with 3 decimal points, with 4 decimal points, with 5 decimal points, etc. So now you know how to do that in VBA. So let's say I just like step through this code right now. Notice how it has 3 decimal points, now it has 4 decimal points, now it has 5 decimal points, etc. So I could use the record macro to, I guess, like delete all the blank spaces. I'll just highlight the column, press F5, go to special, blanks, okay. It'll select all the blanks here. These are the blank rows. And then I go over to home and delete. Shift cells up. Developer, view code. Module 1 and columns A through B. And the selection, special cells, it selects all the blank cells and then deletes and selects up. So we go over here to record macro, and so if you need to, I guess, learn how to make like a pivot table in here, you could just do that, insert, pivot table, and we're just going to put it on a new worksheet. So it's on sheet 4 over here. Go to companies, I got the numbers over here, and I'll put commas over here. So now you go to developer, stop recording, and view code. Or you could alternatively, obviously, just click on macros, go to macro 11, which we just made. So here is what we did on sheet 1. We went to range A1, we did down, right, and then we added a sheet. And here's the pivot cache. So it references sheet 1, row 1, column 1, which is up here, companies, and cell A1. And then row 24, column 2, which is one number down here. And it creates a pivot table named pivot table 2. This is how you could reference a pivot table. And here's the destination cell for the pivot table on sheet 4, which is over here, row 3, column 1. So go to view code, row 3, column 1. This is in R1C1 formatting. You can watch my R1C1 formatting formulas video if you're unsure of that format in Excel. You go to, so it goes to sheets 4, and then it selects within the pivot table, and then with the active pivot table and pivot table 2, which is named up here, it sets the pivot fields companies in the row field, and then it puts it in position 1, and then it selects the numbers, and it puts it under the sum of numbers, XL sum, and sum of numbers is just the column name. And then you select column B, and you put a comma there. So I'm just going to delete this. And let's just go to record macro. If you want to learn how to delete a sheet in VBA, go to stop recording, macros, edit. And here's sheet 4, active sheets delete. So basically anything you manually do in VBA, you could use the macro recorder to work your way through the code. If you take my lessons and you apply like the basic coding principles that I teach you in them to this macro recorder, you can build like any custom report that you need in Excel. And thank you for watching my video. Check out my other VBA tutorial lessons. Check out my website. And thank you for watching.